So good afternoon all. In today's class we are going to discuss about example programs on branching. So what we discussed in our earlier classes, if else. So by using these concepts we are going to solve some problems. So after that we discuss about range function. What is the purpose of the range function, and we see what is looping, and in that we discuss about for statement. Okay, so this is the problem. So print true. You are going to print true if both the numbers are positive and if at least one of the number is greater than 5. Okay, so you are going to print true if both the numbers. That means from keyboard you are going to read two numbers. So for example here the numbers are -10, 6. You read two numbers. Now if both the numbers are positive, if these two numbers are positive, and here you are going to use and, if at least one of the number is greater than 5. So both the numbers positive numbers, and in these two numbers at least one number is greater than 5. So greater than 5, then you are going to print true. Then you are going to print true. In remaining all the cases, in all other cases, print false. So print false. Okay, so first we try to understand the problem. So what is the problem here? You are going to print either true or false. Either true or false. So when we are going to print the true, in this problem you are going to read two numbers. Two numbers. For example, number 1, number 2. If these two numbers are positive numbers, and so one of the number is at least greater than 5, then you are going to print true. In all other cases you are going to print false. Okay, so this is the explanation. When the given numbers are -10, 6. So in this -10 and 6, so we have two conditions. One is both the positive numbers and another one is greater than 5. Okay, so here -10 is negative number, so this is false. This condition fails, so you are going to print false as output. False as a output. When we are giving 10 and 1, 10 and 1, here the both the numbers are positive. Yes, this is, these two numbers are positive numbers, and in this one of the number 10 is greater than 5. Second condition also satisfied, so you are going to print true. Okay, now everyone please give the response in the chat box. If I give the input 2, 4, 2, 4, so what is the expected output for this? 2, 4. Either it is true or false. If I give 2, 4, so what it prints? Yes, it prints false. It prints false. Very good. Okay, why? So both the numbers are positive, but in this any number is not greater than 5. Not greater than 5. Okay, now we are going to write the program for this problem. So what is the input we are going to give? We are going to give two numbers. So one is in first line, second is in second line. Okay, for example, so 10, 1. Just wait. Okay, so after that you are going to print either true or false. Okay, So how we read the values? We are going to take two variables. Here I am taking n1. So what is n1 here? You are going to read some input. The input is in the form of string. Here you are going to use the comparison operator, so you can convert the number into string. Sorry, the string into number integer. Okay. Similarly, n2 equals to int of input, and here I am taking, here we have two conditions. What is the first condition? The first condition is you are going to check. So these two numbers n1 and n2 both are positive numbers. So how we can find a number is positive or not? So for example 10. So 10 is a positive number or not? How we can determine that? If I give minus 5. So how we say that the minus 5 is positive number? Sorry, minus 5 is negative number and 10 is positive number. Here we are using one comparison operator, that is the 10 greater than 0, then it is positive. So minus 5 greater than 0, false. So it is negative. Okay, we determine like this. We are going to read the number and here we check it is greater than 0. We assume that the condition is true, so it is positive. And similarly, if it is greater than 0 is false, then you are going to determine that it is negative number. Okay, so now, so here also we are going to use the same logic. n1, so greater than 0. Here both the numbers, so both the numbers are greater than 0. So n1 greater than 0, n2 greater than 0, and I store the result in one variable. For example, the variable is positive. So positive is a variable. In this, I store that n1 greater than 0 and n2 greater than 0. Now we check. So print positive. So first we execute this. I'm giving the 10, 1. It prints true. Why? So both the numbers are positive numbers. If I give 10 minus 1, it displays false. Why? Here the 10 greater than 0, that indicates true, but minus 1 greater than 0, false. Here we are using the logical operation, and true and false, it returns false. Okay, so first condition is over. So what is the second condition? The second condition is either, so one of the number is greater than 5. Here, so either one of the numbers. So we are going to use our logical operator. So how we are taking, so greater is a variable equals to n1 greater than 5 or n2 greater than 5. Okay, so let us execute this program. If I give input 10 minus 1, GRE. Okay, if I give 10 minus 1, so what it returns? So first one is false, second one is true. So one of the number is greater than 5, and so both are not positive numbers. Okay, now we execute one more time. I give 10 and 1. Now it displays true and true. So both the conditions are true. That means these two numbers are positive, and so one of the number is greater than 5. That's it. Now you are going to write the actual program. Here we are going to check if these two, positive and greater, so these two are the true, then you are going to print true as a output. else in all other cases you are going to print false. That's it. Okay, now we execute this program. Say I'm giving that 10 and 1. You observe the true, so true it returns. We make these two as a comment lines. We are going to give the input. So for example, 2 and 4. So what is the expected output for 2 and 4? The expected output is false. Okay, it prints false. Here the first condition is true. So both the numbers are positive, but so no number is greater than 5. So the first positive returns contains true and greater contains false. So true and false, it returns false. Okay. So anybody have any doubts in this program? So minus 10 and 6. For minus 10 and 6, we get false as output. Okay. So minus 10 and 6, so false is the output. And similarly, what is the second case? 10 and 1, it returns true. Okay. I hope so everyone understands that. So how we are going to use the branching statements, if, else, and how we are going to use these logical operators and or. Here we are using this and or. So these two are the logical operators. So based on the problem description, the first condition is two numbers are positive numbers. So here I am writing that say n1 greater than 0 and n2 greater than 0. Okay, you can combine these statements here also. Directly write these statements n1 so greater than 0 and n2 greater than 0. And here in greater you are going to write n1 so greater than 5 or n2 so greater than 5. Okay, for understanding I divide this problem like that. Okay, so now also you are going to get the same answer. So n1 greater than 0 and n2 greater than 0. So this is the first condition, and the second one is n1 greater than 5 or n2 greater than 5. N1 returns true, minus 10 6 it returns false. Okay, so now we move to the next question. So this is the question. So write a program to check if the given two-digit number is greater than 25 and its first digit is greater than its second digit. Okay, so what is the problem here? You are going to write a program to check if the given two-digit number is greater than 25. That means you are going to read a number that is greater than 25, and here you are going to use and logical operator in your program. So greater than 25, for example I am reading the 35. 35 is greater than 25, yes. And so what is the second condition? And what is the second condition? The first digit is greater than the second digit. So what is the first digit is here 3. So what is the second digit? 5. Now so 3 greater than 5, it is false. Now you are going to print so false as a output. So for example if I give so 42, 42. So 42 is greater than 25 and the first digit 4 greater than 2. So it returns true in both the cases. So you are going to print so true as output. Here true. For the 42 you are going to print the true. Okay. So what is the output here? So print true if the number is greater than 25 and its first digit is greater than the second digit. Okay. In all other cases you are going to print false. So what is the input you are going to read? You are going to read so 2-digit integer. 2-digit integer. Okay. So now everyone please give the response in the chat box. If I give 43, if I give 43, so what is the expected output? If I give 43, it returns true or false? It returns true or false. So 43. Everyone try to give the answer in the chat box. Only few members are giving. Yes. 43. The first condition is it is greater than 25. The second condition is 4 greater than 3. So 4 greater than 3. For example, 10. 10. The first condition it is false. It is not greater than 25. The second one, so 1 greater than 0, but it is true. But in this case, if these two cases are true, then only the entire expression will be true. So why? Because here we are using AND. Here we are using the AND. In the problem specification, they specifies that these two conditions with AND operator, AND expression. So you try to write this, try to solve this problem. Okay. So what is the first line? In first line, you are going to read the number. Okay, here I solve this problem like this. I'm using this algorithm. I'm going to read the number, for example, 43. Now, the 43 is in string format. So, the next instruction is I am taking two numbers and in N1, I store so first number. Now, what is the N1? 4. So 4 is in string format. So similarly, in N2, I store second number. What is the second number here? 3. So that is also in string format. Okay. So now we convert these numbers into integer by using int function. So after that, we are going to convert this 43 also into integer. That's it. After that, you can compare these numbers. That's it. So now we are going to write the program. So first you are going to read the value. So that is s into a variable n. After that, I am taking n1 equals to int of here. So for example, I am reading that 43. Now n equals to 43. This is the string. So the location of 4 is n of 0. The location of 3 is n of 1. Okay. So here I am writing that. So n1 equals to int of n1 of 0. That's it. And n2 equals to int of n of 1. Okay. So after that, I am storing these n into one variable num. That's it. Okay, now so in NUM the 43 is stored, in N1 the 4 is stored, in N2 3 is stored. Now you are going to write the conditions. What is the conditions here? The first condition is it is greater than 25. The number is greater than 25. The second condition is first number greater than second number. Okay, so how we can check it is greater than 25? Num greater than 25. That's it. How we can check the first number is greater than second number? N1 greater than N2. That's it. These are the two conditions. Now, so these two conditions are combined with AND operation. Now, here I am writing if num greater than 25 and N1 greater than N2. So N1 greater than straight N1 greater than N2. You are going to print true. In remaining all the cases, you are going to print false. That's it. Okay. Now we execute this program. So first we are going to give a number 43. It prints true. Why? It is greater than 25 and 4 is greater than 3. Now we execute one more time. Sorry. I'm giving the variable 10. It prints false. If I give 27, it returns false. Okay. I hope you all are understand how to solve this problem. Everyone try to execute or solve these type of problems by your own. Okay. Does anybody have any doubts in these two topics? In these, so why don't we use else if statement? Here we have only two options. Either you are going to print true or false. Okay. As a problem description, we have only two options. Either you are going to print true or false. Okay. So if else is enough. If we have three options, for example, in our previous classes, we discussed about so print the number in words. For example, 1, 2, 3. If there are only two numbers, 1 and 2, then no need of if else. If there are more than two options, so then you are going to use if else. Okay. Are you understand? Okay. Okay. So this is about so if else. Okay. So next we move to range function. Range function. So what is the purpose of the range function? So before going to looping in Python, we are going to understand the purpose of range function. So what is this function means? So range function is a built-in function in Python. So range is a built-in function in Python. It is used when a user needs to perform an action for a specific number of times. For specific number of times. For example, I want to execute so a statement 10 times. Then I'm going to use this range statement. So for example, in our previous class, we discussed about the branching statement. Branching statement. In these branching statements, you are going to write the statements. If here you specify some condition, and if it is true, you are going to execute some statements. Okay, so how many times we execute these statements? Only one time. Only one time we execute these statements. But if there is a situation, you are going to execute these statements until this condition is false. This condition is false. Here, if condition checked, if it is true, you are going to execute once these statements. So now there is a situation, you are going to execute these statements number of times until this condition is false. Okay, that we are called as a looping. In branching, you are going to execute the statements only one time. Coming to looping. So what is a looping? So looping is nothing but you are going to execute the statements until a condition is false. Now I want to execute these statements until a condition is false. Until the condition is false. Here, instead of conditions, you are going to use range functions for some time. So what's the range function? So range is a built-in function in Python. It is used when a user needs to perform an action for a specific number of times. So for example, here I want to execute these statements 10 times. 10 times. Then I'm going to use this range statement. So range of 10. That's it. We discuss in detail in few minutes. So range of 10. So range of 10 means I'm going to execute these statements 10 times. Okay. The range function is used to generate a sequence of numbers. A sequence of numbers, that is most important. So what is the purpose of this range function? Means this function is used to generate a sequence of numbers. For example, I want the numbers 0 to 9. How many numbers? 10. 0 to 9. So this done with the help of this range function. The range function is used to generate a sequence of numbers. For example, I want the numbers, so 1 to 5. 1 to 5. Then I use the function range, so 1 comma 6. 1 comma 6. Okay. So range takes mainly 3 arguments. The range function takes mainly 3 arguments. The first one is start. That means in range function range, I'm going to give 3 arguments. For example, here I give 5, 100, 2. Okay. In this way, you can give arguments. Now, so what is this 5? So 5 indicates that starting. Start. 100, stop. 2, step. Okay, so what is the start here? The integer starting from which the sequence of integer is to be written. So what is the range function? The range function can return the sequence of integers. Here you are going to specify that what is the starting integer number. For example, I want to print the numbers from 5 to 10. In this case, what is the starting number? 5. So I give the range as a 5. Okay, stop. So where we are going to stop the integer, so before which the sequence of integer is to be written. For example, 5, 10. So I give the start as a 5 and the stop as a 11. Okay. And step, integer value which determines the increment between each integer in the sequence. Each integer in the sequence. What it means? So for example, I give 5 comma 15. 5 comma 15. What are the numbers written by the range function? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so these are the numbers written by the range function. If I use range 5 comma 15. Okay, here step, integer value which determines the increment between each integer in the sequence. Here the difference between these two integers are the 1. That means by default the step is 1. By default the step is 1. Okay, instead of this I'm using 5 comma 15 comma 2. Then The difference between these two numbers are 2. So now what is the output? 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So this is the output. Okay, so these are the examples. Now everyone try to give the answer for this. Everyone try to give answer for this range of 10. So what it prints? Range of 10. Everyone please respond in the chat box. Range of 10. It's a range of 10. So what is the range of 10? What it returns? It returns a sequence of numbers. So 1 to 10 is wrong. So Karthik. So 1 to 9 is also wrong. Saichan, correct. Yes. It returns 0 to 9. It returns 0 to 9. Okay. So range 5 comma 10. So range 5 comma 10. So what is the expected output? So range 5 comma 10 means 5 to 9. Very good. Here this is the n. The sequence of numbers written to n minus 1 only. N minus 1. Yes, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Correct. Very good. So now, 522. 522. What is the expected output? 522. What is the expected output? Yes, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. Very good. What is the output for range of 10 comma 1 comma minus 1? So 10, the starting is 10 and 2, 1 and the step is minus 1. That means 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so first we are going to execute these programs. Now, so whenever you are going to use these range functions, you are going to remember some points. So range function only works with integers. Here you are using these start, stop, step. You give only integers. So for example, if I write a program like this, n equals to input for I in n, print I. In this I am using range of n. So range of n. Okay, here for example I give 10 as out input. Now it prints an error. Why? Anyone please give the response why it returns error? I give so 10 as input and it returns an error. That means whenever you are going to use this range functions, so these arguments are integers. These arguments are integers only. You remember this point. The arguments always integer in range function. Okay, and in this range function we have 3 parts. Start, stop, step. These 3. In this stop, so this is the argument is compulsory. So remaining 2 are the optionals. Start and step, these are the optionals. If you specify range of 10, then it is enough. If you give 5 comma 10, then the first one assigned to start, the second one is stop. If you give 3 arguments, the first one is start, second one is stop, and third one is step. Okay, and another important point is this step does not equals to 0. Now we are going to execute the programs. And one more thing, the range function, if you assign to any value, for example, I'm taking n equals to range of 10, range of 10. Now if I print n value, print n, let me check that. So what is the range of this n? 0 to 10. Now what is the type of this n? If I assign n equals to 5, n equals to 5, then print type of n. What is the expected output? What is the expected output? It prints integer. It prints, it is an integer type. If I give n equals to range of 10, if I try to print type of n, type of n, now what is the expected output? It prints range as output. So there is a class range. Like integer, there is a class range. So what is the type of this n? It is a range. Okay. Now we try to execute the different programs. Okay. For I in range of 10, for I in range of 10, I'm going to print I value. So what is the expected output? It prints 0 to 9. If I give, so 1 comma 10, 1 comma 10, now it prints, so now it prints, so 1 to 7. If I give 5 comma 20 and the step is 2, and step is 2, now it prints straight. Now it prints, so 5 to 19 as a output. If I give 10, 1, minus 1, so now it displays 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, here if you specify 0, now what is the expected output? Anybody please give the response in the chat box. For I in range of 10 comma 1 comma 0, so 10 comma 1 comma 0, then what is the expected output for this? It is error. It returns error. So why? The step cannot be 0. Okay, so range of argument 3 must not be 0. If you give minus 1, it accepts. If you give any positive number, it accepts. But the argument 3 must not be 0. Okay, so this is about range function. So this range function we are going to use in many programs. So what is the purpose of the range function? The range function is used to generate a sequence of numbers. A sequence of numbers. So now everyone try to give the response in the chat box. For example, I want the numbers from 15 to 45 like this. First number is 15. Second number is 18. 21 up to 45. So what is the range function we are going to use? Range. What is the first argument? 15. So what is the last argument? 45. Let us take is a 46. Comma. What is the step? 3. Okay. If you understand these 3, start, stop, step. That's it. Very good. Okay. So now we move to next concept, that is first statement. So this first statement also we are going to use in many programs. So what is the purpose of the first statement? First statement used to iterate over the items of any sequence such as a list or a string. Okay, the syntax is variable, you specify the sequence and you can write the statements. What it means, here I am taking that a variable and you are going to use these sequences. So for example, for I in range of 10, I in range of 10. Now, so what is the output of this range of 10? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this is the sequence. Here in first iteration, what is the I value? 0. In second iteration, 1. In third iteration, 2. That means in every iteration, the variable I takes the value from this sequence and you are going to execute some statements. The first statement used to iterate. Here it iterates 10 times. Why? We are using the range of 10. So you are going to enter into this loop 10 times. Okay. In these 10 times you are going to execute these statements. So for example, we are going to write a program. So I'm going to write a program to print our college name. For example, in first line I am going to enter our college name. For example, CR Reddy College of Engineering. Okay, so next I'm going to read a n value. So for example, I enter 10. If I enter 10, I'm going to print the college name 10 times. I print the college name 10 times like this. Okay, 10. So you are going to read a string from the keyboard and you are going to read n value and you are going to print n times whatever you are going to read from the keyboard. So for example, your name Ravi. After that you are going to assign a number. Now you are going to print your name n times. So how we can write the program for this? The first line you are going to read a string. So str. I'm taking a variable str. See, str is a predefined one. So I take s1. Str is a data type. So s1 equals to input. I'm going to read the input. So that is stored in s. Okay. In next line, I'm going to read n value. N equals to int of input. So now I'm going to print. I'm going to print s1 n times. Okay. Now if I execute this, for example, I give CR Reddy College of Engineering 5. Now it prints only one time. It prints only one time. Here we are not use any first statement. So I want to execute these statements 10 times or n times. How? In these cases I am going to use for I in range of n. For I in range of n, you are going to write so print s1. So for I in range of n, so print s1. Now we execute the same program. If I give the string CR Reddy College of Engineering, if I enter 10, now it displays 10 times. Now it displays 10 times. And in the definition, we read one more point, that is So first statement used to iterate over the items of any sequence. Any sequence. Here the range is the sequence. So here the range is the sequence. So range of n is the sequence. And so similarly you are going to use string also. For example, instead of range of s, if I give s1, s1, instead of print s1, I give I. What is the expected output? It prints C in one line, space in one line, R in one line, space, or E like that. Execute. Just wait. For better understanding, I give only college, COLLEG, and I give, actually no need of 5 here. Now you see we iterate, so based on this S1. So first the I is C. In next iteration O, next L, G, E. Okay. I hope everyone understand what is the purpose of first statement. What is the purpose of first statement? The first statement we are going to use to iterate over the items. So over the items for any sequence such as list and string. Such as a list and string. For example, instead of this, so this is the string, you are going to give the list also. Okay. Now so we are going to write one program, so by using for loop. So for example, so this is the list. For example, at this point you all are remember there is a list data type in Python. So how we can define means by using square brackets. So list equals to 10 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50. So this is the list. In future classes we discuss more about the list. At this point you all are remember the list is nothing but defining in square brackets. Okay, this is the list. Now I want to print sum of these numbers, sum of these numbers in list. Okay, so how? So for that, first I am going to take one list. So this is the list. Okay, so this is the list and I want to find the sum. So I initialize the sum. Yes, I am taking s equals to 0. There is a sum predefined variable s equals to 0 I am taking. So now s equals to 0 and I'm going to iterate like for I in list. For I in list, I'm going to print the I value. So before summation, so I'm going to find sum s equals to s plus I. S equals to s plus I. That's it. At the end of the program, I'm going to print sum equals to sum. Yes, that's it. Sum equals to yes. Here, what we are doing, the problem is you are going to find sum of the numbers in the list. Now, what is the list here? 10, 30, 40, 50. Okay, this is the list. What the list name? The list name is L. Okay, so now I'm taking one variable yes. I initialize this s with 0. For I in list, up to now we discuss about for loop. For I in list, now what is the I value here? I equals to 10, 30, 40, 50. In first iteration, the I value is 10. In second iteration, I value is 30. In next iteration, I value is 40. In next iteration, I value is 50. Now, So this is the first iteration, I equals to 10, and it prints 10 as output, and s equals to s plus I, so 0 plus 10, that is 10. So 10 is stored in this s, 10. In second iteration, I equals to 30 and s equals to s plus 30, that means 10 plus 30 becomes 40. So 40 is stored in s. In next iteration, I equals to 40, s equals to 40 plus 40, it becomes 80. So this is the 80. In next iteration, in fourth iteration, I equals to 50, 80 plus 50, the s equals to s plus I, so 80 plus 50, this is 130. Okay, so when we print sum, yes, it prints 130 as a output, 130 as a output. Now we execute this program. Yeah, sorry. Now sum equals to 130. Okay, so thank you all.